The Ring of Dain Thar Duin, Volume 1, Invocation. O light of that divine source which does in all things reside and ever moves them to its ultimate purpose, whose beauty is blinding, whose radiance is splendor, whose power is unmatched, sing now through me the tale of our ancestors, of those few men of great worth who became high telach of the land and ruled with the signet ring of the heart upon their finger, of battles, of hunts, of wolf hours and blood days, of trials terrible, and how in victory they were granted right to rule the Aeolish people with wisdom and grace. Mathred, son of Math, was strongest of the Aeolish, taller than any other, powerful as 3 oxen. Gold fell his locks, keen his sight, for his mother was a Baith witch, whose blood gave him magic, and he faced beasts of the earth without terror, never fled nor lost a battle. He flattened the wild mountains of Isle Bolam when they would not submit. He separated the sun and moon and gave them each a time to reign. Often that great warrior defeated the circling sea before she could swallow Eoland and the children of Eol, for she had desired Eol, giving him many gifts, but he loved her not. And when she would shake the island, Mathred would place it upon his back, battling the beasts of the darkest seas, though doubled over until the pillars of the earth ceased shaking and his people were once more at peace. Mathred was advised by his friend, the young but knowledgeable wise man of Isle Melach, to forge a weapon which would grant him power over this foe, that the Aeolish might never again be troubled by her malice. This his final labor, for with weapon in hand he could defeat the sea and bring her to submit, or else slay the demons of the dark earth and dragons of wild sky, forever defending his people. With the wise man of Isle Melach at his side, he began to search all the earth for those boons which might be forged together to make that mighty weapon. In caves and valleys, through the wind-swept realms of the Tella, where green grass fields and untamed meadows stretch to the skies, in the sweet water streams and cool lakes, in the bitter waves of the spiteful sea, on the white-capped peaks of the mountains where eagles make their roost. Always they searched for those fantastic materials to forge together into his weapon. Yet this task was not one of ease, for though the earth did love Mathred, his blood belonging to the Baith, it would not part easily from its wonders, and in all hours of the day they were tested by beasts, as Mathred safeguarded the wise man of Isle Melach, as he, by his earned knowledge, sought to discover these materials by which he could forge his great boon. Long was their search, and for 5 years Mathred slept not, but battled the creatures of the night, as the wise man slept. For many terrible beasts did oppose them, and hid these boons from the waking world. Wolves as great as bears, maned cats large as horses, whose claws like knives hacked and slashed more fiercely than axes. Spiders which devour men as others do flies, and feast on darkness, filth, and decay. Demons and dragons which eat the flesh of man. Yet faithfully Mathred kept his vigil, slaying each beast which moved in the night, and by his strength and devotion conquered and delivered these boons. By guile they stole the ends of the rainbow from the skies. By skill Mathred built a ladder to reach the heavens where they stole the shadow of the sun. With honeyed words they took the wind's voice, that ever after it could only howl or whisper. By strength he stole the redness from the waters and left it forever blue. With a sack so deep it might hold 10 kingdoms, they plucked like apples the stars which shone in daylight. From cats they stole the sound of their footfall. These wonders gathered, the wise man of Isle Melach did declare their search over, and by his skill began to discover means of joining them in his home beneath those great Aeolish mountains, while Mathred returned to his people, the wee Lide Saul, to await the day when he might subdue the sea and secure Eoland for all ages. He wrestled the 5 wild brothers of Tachfel and won their sister as a bride, for only the woman of Tachfel could know him, and love there was between them, creating the boy Malach. and in joy they lived 2 years before her death, for she drowned in the salt waves of the sea as she returned from her brothers, and for 3 months Mathred spoke no word, neither to God nor man, and his son Malach knew not his voice, until breaking his silence he vowed vengeance and declared war on the sea. He gave battle, though he was without the great weapon which would secure his victory. The sea called a gale, as foul demons of the deep rose in the waves, and for 3 days his ship sailed alone in the storm, spearing those beasts which hold no form true. Unafraid he was under the wind and rain. On the 4th his boat sank. The sea held him in her grasp, and set all her children upon him. But they could not subdue him, for he was the son of Math, who had taken a Baith woman for a wife. Her strong magic ran through him, and in his rage he brought the sea to boil, and the creatures of the salt did die. And, weeping for her children, she submitted to him, swearing to never again harm men, nor call the storms while Mathred lived. In triumph he returned to shore, but when he walked among his people again, he fell ill with longing for his wife, and died. Such was the life of Mathred. And thus fate had placed her pieces on the board. And thus the trials of Mathred's blood began.